Today we are going to continue on with the Earth and Sun. All right. So first we're going to take a look at the Sun. Okay. So most of the energy of Earth comes from the Sun. Did we know this already? Does that make sense? Yes, right? Most of our energy of Earth comes from the Sun. We call this energy solar energy. Okay? So energy from the Sun, solar energy. And this comes 93 million miles from Earth. All right, so this solar energy, right, from the Sun, which is 93 million miles from the Earth. Yes, sounds like a really long ways, right? So what depends on this solar energy? What depends on this solar energy? Maggie? Yeah, plants. What else? People, right? Everything depends on this solar energy, right? Life on Earth depends upon this. Okay? And this also influences a lot of things, like where we live, all right? What crops we grow, what foods we're able to grow, okay? And also how we spend our time, okay? We live in Minnesota, all right? Is where we live the same temperature as living close to the equator? No, no, it's not, okay? We have cold winters, all right? If you wanted to live in the warm, where would you go instead? Yeah, farther south, right? Get warmer temperatures. What crops are we able to grow in Minnesota? Yep, corn, soybeans, wheat, sugar beets. All right, those are all crops we grow, okay, that are able to thrive and survive in the amount of sunlight or solar energy we get in our area. Okay. It also influences how we spend our time. Do we do different activities in the winter and in the summer? Yeah, right? How much summer do we get every year? About, yeah, like our summer vacation. Really, maybe 3 to 4 months, right? During that time, we can go to the lakes, we can go biking, swimming, all that fun stuff, right? But in the winter, right, it's not as warm. We do other things like snowmobiling, sledding, snowshoeing, whatever it may be. So, right, the amount of solar energy that an area receives, right, influences where we live, what crops we grow, how we spend our time. Okay, and again, all life on Earth depends upon this solar energy. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about solar energy. So, the more solar energy a location receives, the warmer it will be. Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. Tropics. Tropics are located by the equator. All right. How much sunlight do they receive? A lot, which means they are, what's their temp? Hot, warm, yes. Okay. So our tropics are by the equator, okay? Then we have our poles. The poles receive little solar energy, so little sunlight, which means they are cold. Yes, they are much colder than the tropics, which are located by the equator, okay? So again, our tropics, our poles, very different in their temperature and the amount of solar energy they receive, okay? The amount of solar energy a place receives depends upon the angle the sun's rays hit Earth. All right, and we talked about this yesterday a little bit too, remember? Places on Earth that get direct sunlight, right, are much warmer, where the poles are more angled, all right? So they don't receive as much of that solar energy, okay? So direct rays heat more Earth than angled rays do, okay? So areas that have those angled rays aren't quite as warm as those direct sun rays, okay? Does that make sense to us? That makes sense? All right, so continuing on, when the North Pole tilts toward the sun, the most direct rays hit the northern hemisphere, which is what season then in the northern hemisphere? Summer, yeah, exactly. So that means we have summer. We also have longer days, right? More sunlight, longer days. So when the northern hemisphere is experiencing summer with longer days, what is the southern hemisphere experiencing? Yeah, they're having fall and winter, right? Colder temperatures. Okay. So again, when that North Pole tilts toward the sun, right, that northern hemisphere, we are having summer. Okay, we have warmer temps, longer days, which means the southern hemisphere is tilted away, all right, and that's when they have their fall and winter, right, those colder temperatures.